I'm Joe McIntosh. I'm the director and founder of the Out There Festival, which we started 10 years ago. We started the festival really because in the previous 10 years we'd done lots and lots of really good creative projects with communities, with young people, with older people, with a real kind of emphasis on participation and transformation, and it was all good stuff, but it was a bit invisible to the general public, and we wanted to do something that could be a platform for the stuff we were doing with communities, but at the same time created some real vibrancy in the town and brought everyone together and provided something that everyone could be part of. We've done all kinds of projects with artists and communities, and the communities are still very, very involved in what we do. I think one of the favorite things we ever did, or favorite shows and projects we ever did, was probably the first time we presented Generic Vapeur here in 2010 with their incredible and very well established show called Bivouac, which is sort of 25, 30 guys with blue faces, blue hair, kind of go through the streets in what looks like a massive riot, and they're abseiling off buildings. We had a guy coming off a zip wire halfway between the Atlantis Tower and the Marina Center. We had a massive police car that was caught by a 10-foot mousetrap. It's a really crazy show, and we had an audience of just thousands and thousands and thousands of people who I think had never ever seen anything like that, and it changed a lot of people's ideas about what was possible. And really, since that point, no one has ever said you can't do that. People really believe that this festival is about doing unusual and interesting things and giving things a go and being part of it. And yeah, that spirit just grows and grows.
I'm Peter Wilson. I was chair of Sea Change from 2007 for a few years. What attracted me to Sea Change, and therefore to the Out There Festival, was that Yarmouth at that time was a kind of non-political place. The politicians and the executive had come together. They wanted to make Yarmouth a better place. And I thought the spirit of Yarmouth was just extraordinary, not like anything that I'd seen anywhere else in Norfolk. And I just loved it. So I was there for 3 or 4 years perhaps, and we worked on St. George's as well. And throughout all of that, the unity of the people of Yarmouth was the thing that really struck me as being incredibly powerful and very prosperous in spiritual terms.
My name's Andrew Perkins. I'm a photographer, and I've been involved with Sea Change Arts and photographing the Out There Festival since 2010. My first event that I photographed was the Generic Vapeur Bivouac show. Quite an amazing one to start with, which was performed on the seafront in Great Yarmouth. And just as it was getting dark, there were all these guys and girls in blue paint eating cabbages and drinking some sort of strangely coloured fluid while throwing barrels of fire at you down the street. Not something you expect to see every day in Great Yarmouth, and that's really why the Out There Festival for me is so amazing. It's something, you know, completely unusual, completely out of the ordinary, performed by people from all over the world, very skillful street performers, and it's a great event. However, the event that really stands out in my mind was back in 2014, which was the Colour of Time. This was a show based on the Hindu Holi festival. So there was lots of brightly coloured powder being thrown around with a background of great music, interesting dance, and obviously performance by not only the street performers but also the people of Great Yarmouth that had taken part in the festival. This was a slightly different approach for me that year, in that instead of documenting the event as I have done in the past, I was photographing portraits of people that were actually taking part while they were taking part. So we had a small pop-up studio, a single background, somebody holding a background for me, somebody holding a light for me, and so we were hopefully capturing something of the enjoyment and excitement of the event as it happened.
My name is Jack J. I'm the producer and director at the Hippodrome Circus in Great Yarmouth. And over the years, there's been so many incredible productions that have come through as part of the Out There Festival. Obviously, when everyone thinks of Out There Festival, they think about the incredible outside events, the street art that goes on. But it's been a real privilege for us to have some incredible and very different theatrical events here at the Hippodrome as part of the Out There Festival. One of my personal favourites was when we were able to present Silver Linings as part of the Out There Festival, an amazing British homegrown circus with homegrown as in right here in Great Yarmouth talent in the form of Tom Gaskin, who's worked with us here at the Hippodrome for many, many years. And so many of the people that are in that show, they've come from the National Centre of Circus Arts. And I remember seeing the show in London, they became good friends, and to have the opportunity to bring them here to Great Yarmouth and present something which perhaps would be very, very different from what we would be able to was a real thrill. I mean, many of these guys have now gone on to make their own companies and do other things, and Tom still works with us here with our productions. But it was a real great moment. They had, just put this incredible show together, and it was a real pleasure to see such an amazing, uplifting, fun, youthful, vibrant circus show here as part of Out There Festival.
Hello, we're Dizzy O'Dare.
We are the resident artists currently at Sea Change Arts, and we have performed at the festival for the past, I think, 6 years. We've brought our whole back catalogue here.
Because we perform at the festival, we don't get to see so many shows, but because we worked on production last year, we got to see what I would say our favourite show is.
Definitely.
Choreophobia from Pickled Image. Yay!
Yeah, brilliant.
I think it's an important show because it was one of the first indoor shows to be put on here at the Drill House, and of course it was an amazing show.
I think clowning comes into our work quite a lot, and this was the perfect anarchic clown show. It's how I see modern clown should be. It's not about being cutesy and ha ha ha. It's being in the moment, being very funny, being real, doing something challenging, doing something really present
And brave.
I'm Sarah from the Insect Circus. I first got involved with Great Yarmouth through the Insect Circus Museum in 2009.
And apart from Sarah, I'm Mark, and all the rest applies as well.
Spurting Man, absolutely genius and brilliant. Trevor always is, but particularly the end where there were volunteers in the audience with backpacks, which also spurted, and the crowd got soaking and really loved it. It was very, very funny.
And it was pretty cold as well.
And it was, yes,
it was quite cool. Ended up quite cool.
One of the biggest highlights of working with Sea Change is knowing all the fabulous people who work for Sea Change. And I won't name any of them because it's everybody. It's always a joy to go there and to be with them and to work with them. And yeah.
And we love coming back.
And we love. Yes, indeed.